So these last few weeks have really proven to me that I should never be the type of person to post my Pokemon predictions online because I cannot stop being wrong lately. If I had, I would be very embarrassed. Well, maybe not really embarrassed because I'm actually very glad that I was wrong. But it all starts with the release of Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Switch. Because I was always in the camp that we would never get the Gen 3 and later games on the Switch. Well, at least like the mainline ones. Stuff like Coliseum and XD, that's kind of its own beast. But the mainline ones, I didn't think we would, because if you have the right equipment, you can still transfer Pokemon all the way back from Gen 3 up to modern games. You couldn't with the Gen 1 and 2 games, so the Virtual Console releases of those back on the 3DS to me always felt sort of like a correction, since we couldn't before they made versions that would allow it. But I was wrong. We got those announcements last week. I literally started my playthrough of Fire Red on my Switch today. And I'm very glad to have been wrong about that. But the Pokemon Presents today made it feel like a pattern. And if you haven't seen it yet and have managed to avoid spoilers, I'm going to give you a second to keep going. And I'm impressed if you have. Nobody else seems to be using spoiler tags. But all the spaces I was in this last week leading up to the Presents, we're predicting, like, oh, we're going to get news about Gen 10, we're going to get news about Gen 10. But to me, for some reason, it felt too early, which is weird, because I'm pretty sure Gen 9, going off of the years, is one of, if not our longest-running generation. But it felt too early to me for some reason. I was expecting that we wouldn't get news about Gen 10 till next year. But I was completely wrong. We got news about Pokemon Winds and Waves today, and they're releasing next year. And again, I'm very happy to be wrong because first impressions are looking pretty good. From what we've seen of the gameplay so far, the games look pretty good. And the starters, first impressions are pretty strong all around. It'll be a while before I'm able to fully form my opinions on all three of them. But the base forms are looking pretty solid. And Ponbon is literally perfect. Unless something horrible happens with its evolutions, it's going to end up being an S tier when I do my video about it. Because, I mean, I've talked in length about, maybe not in length, but I've talked about my love for dog-themed Pokemon before, and now they're giving us a dog-themed starter that is my favorite type. It's like a personal gift. Thank you, Pokemon. But yeah, I just, I have a superpower. I cannot stop being wrong with my Pokemon predictions. So I guess if you have a prediction that you really want to come true, comment it down below. I'll disagree with you, and I'll be proven wrong in about a week.